We're set up on the tripod. The telltale sound of fall. The leaves, dry, brown, crackling underfoot as we make distance along the trail. Today is October the 20th. What an absolutely beautiful fall day. Yeah, we're back on the Bruce Trail. We're in the Blue Mountain section and we're heading south. We're on a 2-day, 1-night wild camp hike. Probably only about a total of 40 kilometers or so in total over the 2 days. Primary reason for that is because of my work, which I have to do, work. I didn't get home and to bed till about 5 a.m. this morning. Right now it's around 12:30 after lunch. We're about 3 kilometers into the day. So yeah, we've made a start. We're heading essentially from the top of Blue Mountain in the Niagara Escarpment down to Pretty River Valley, which we're going to do a overnight camp. It's an area we've camped at before, so I am familiar with it. Nice fresh kind of spring water running alongside the camp area, the Pretty River itself. So we've got lots of fresh water available to us once we get to our campsite. But right now, I'm still carrying 2.5 liters of water simply because I simply do not like to be short of water. So yeah. Hey, it's Gary here, trail name Jasper. Welcome to my channel. Now, you know what? Today and tomorrow and tonight promises to be exciting, interesting. We should see a beautiful display of fall colors along the way, because right now we are at the peak of the fall color season. The temperature today, probably around 16 to 18 degrees Celsius, really quite nice for this time of year. The temperature tonight, well, when the sun goes down, so do the temperatures, really quite rapidly. I think tonight we're going to be somewhere around the freezing area, maybe +2 or 3, I'm not sure. But I do have with me pretty much all my best gear as far as cooler and colder temperatures are concerned. I am using my Teton 21 degree Fahrenheit trailhead sleeping bag, which is fine for that temperature. My Thermarest Z-Pad, which has an R rating of 2.6. I am going to change that Z-Pad to an inflatable at some point, and I have been looking. Just a matter of finding the deal that I can live with. So yeah, pack weight. Right now we're at 32 pounds. That's with food for 2 days, full water of 2.5 liters, and all my gear, plus a few little extras other than normal, simply because of the colder nights, such as more kind of thicker, heavier duty gloves, a toque, a couple of other little things for the cold night. So my pack itself is pretty much the same pack and pack weight that I'd be using on a through hike, except for food. I would be carrying, generally speaking, more food, more than 2 days worth of supply. Could be 4, 5 or 6 days of supply on a through hike or a larger section hike, I don't know, depends. So yeah, that's what we're doing. It's great to be back on the trail with full pack. About 2 weeks ago I did finish a through hike, a successful 35-day 1,012 kilometer through hike of this very trail, Bruce Trail, from Niagara Falls to Tobermory, and that was awesome. And I've hiked a lot since then, but this is my first kind of full pack overnight hike since completing that through hike. So it's really good to be back on trail with full pack. The views, the colors today promise to be beautiful, splendid. The trail itself, a little tricky at this time of year, simply because you've got so many fall leaves on the ground that it's sometimes hard to pick up the trail. The blazes, or the trail is well marked by the blazes. The Bruce Trail Conservatory, they do here in the Blue Mountains section an amazing job at maintaining and marking the trail. And except for a few little minor glitches here and there, it's very, very, very easy to kind of navigate. Although, if you can clearly see the trail, it does make it easier. Okay, let's keep going and let us enjoy our day. Of course, down the trail we will be stopping for coffee in a couple hours and maybe a snack. But right now we're just going to lay down a few miles and just enjoy this absolutely perfect time of year. Well, just sat taking my first break. Always read the label. I picked up new bottles, new 1 liter smart bottles and a 500 ml smart bottle. This is the one I use for my drinking water. The other 2 are for my carrying and cooking water and so on. This one is sparkling water. I don't like sparkling water. It's got a flavor of strawberry and blood orange. Didn't even notice that. So cut a long story short, read the label. I did have to empty the product out and fill it with just regular water. I'm not into the sparkling waters, but I do drink a lot of regular water. Always read the label. Anyhow, having said that, so okay. By the way, I did upload the first part or the first video, which is part 1 of my through hike on the Bruce Trail. I will put up a link for that now. Right there it is, or maybe there it is, but it's on one side or the other. But that's a link to the Bruce Trail part 1 hike. There's going to be, I don't know, 4 or 5 or 6 videos in that series for the whole through hike. But anyhow, there you go. So take a look at that. Make sure you do. And by the way, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, do so. We don't have a lot of subscribers, but we could use some. Make the family bigger. Yeah, great. And we could all swap information and knowledge and all learn together. Okay, you know what? I'm going to pack up from here because it was just a 5-minute break. In about maybe 2 hours, I guess it is. Maybe an hour and a half to 2 hours, I'm not sure. We're going to arrive at the Osler Bluff. It's a big rock kind of overlooking a beautiful expanse. And I'm sure we'll take a picture of that and I'll show you guys. But there we'll probably take a break. We'll maybe make a coffee and some oatmeal depending on the time and how much time we have. The days are really getting short now. Pushing towards late October. It's pretty much dark by 6:30, definitely by 7 o'clock. So, and you can't get back on the trail in the morning till about 7:30 at the earliest, just because of the light. So it's like 12 hours of darkness pretty much. Having said that, we do need to get going, so we can make sure we get to the Pretty River Valley and the Pretty River camp area that I want to camp at tonight before it does get too dark. Okay, that being said, let's pack up. Remember, always read the label. I obviously didn't. Let's go. What a beautiful place to have my lunch break. Perfect. Well, the time is moving right along. It's already about 4:30 in the afternoon. Now, granted, we have had our oatmeal and coffee break. That was good. That was about 45 minutes ago. We've still got quite a ways to go to our kind of area that I'd thought about for camping. However, I'm very confident that we'll get there with sufficient time to kind of get settled in, set up the tent and so on before it gets too dark. You know what I was thinking? There is a little fire pit there, and maybe, just maybe, if all works out well, may have a little fire tonight. Although, even though today has been a beautiful day, we had rain for the previous 2 or 3 days, so I'm thinking a lot of the kind of wild wood that will be around will be kind of wet. But I do have one of those little square, kind of 1-inch square fire starter cubes in my bag. Might try that. Might try to have a little campfire tonight. Kind of nice. There'll be nobody at all around. Nobody will go on that trail, especially as soon as it gets dark, or even kind of later into dusk. Nobody will be on that trail. You get the odd jogger coming through at the end of the day, but that's about it. So yeah, the day's progressing great, and as I said earlier, it's great to be on the trail with full pack again. Yeah, thoroughly enjoying it. Anyhow, speaking of trails, I'm just going to briefly mention now kind of what I'm thinking for my next kind of major through hike. I'm thinking about, and just kind of thinking about, although I'd really like to do this particular trail, and that is the CT, the Colorado Trail. 800 kilometers pretty much across the top of the US Rockies, Denver, Colorado to Durango. It's a summer hike. And next year I do have a couple of weddings that I've booked for shooting. The last one that I have booked right now is July the 25th, which means after I've shot that wedding, I may be able to get on trail by, let's say, last days of July, first days of August, which would be okay. That would be okay for the 800 kilometer over the mountains. That would be okay for that trail, I think. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking about. More about that later though. Let's keep going. So right here, and you probably recall this particular location from other videos we've done, but this is going to be our campsite for the night. I've set up a little wood fire, so hopefully in a little bit I'll get that lit and we'll have a little bit of a fire. There's my sitting log with my backpack over there, my night jackets and so on. Over here, my tent. Now, this is a Mountain Gear Warehouse 2-man tent. Vestibules both sides, entrances both sides. So let's just open. This is the side I actually usually use for getting in and out. So let's just open this side. Let's open the screen. It has like a no-see-em screen and a mosquito screen. So first of all, this is the inside of my tent. Now this is the stuff sack for my sleeping bag. And I put clothes in there, and that's what I use as my pillow. This here is my Teton Trailhead 20-degree Fahrenheit sleeping bag. Down to where my toes go, all the way back there. Underneath my sleeping bag, is my Thermarest Z-Lite. This I am going to replace probably for a air pad of some kind. So there you have it. This is pretty much my tent. This is my sanctuary. It's most through hikers' sanctuary. In fact, it's all their sanctuaries. When they, after a hard day of hiking, it really is a sanctuary for the through hiker to climb inside his tent. He feels secure in there. It's comfortable. It's familiar. And he feels safe, even though it's only a thin sheet of vinyl or nylon of some kind. It really is a sanctuary. So I wanted to show you a little bit more about that tent. Now, that tent I bought primarily for doing my through hike of the Bruce Trail. As you'll notice, it's a very kind of stealth design tent. So right now we have a campfire on the go. It's darker inside the forest due to the canopy of trees. There's still light in the sky if I show you the sky through the trees, but inside it's almost dark now, as you can see maybe from the fire. I've got a nice fire going down here, got my coffee, and underneath my coffee is my pouch of chicken and rice, just kind of working away there in some hot water. So you know what, the temperature dropped dramatically or drastically as soon as kind of the sun went down. So well bundled up, my tent's up, as you know. I'm going to have my dinner, maybe enjoy the campfire for a little bit, and then go to bed. And we'll see you in the morning. Okay, so we have had our oatmeal, we've had our coffee, the camp is packed, and we're back on the trail. Now, it's about 7:30, 7:45 a.m. Cold. Yeah, this time of year, October the 21st, sometimes the days, like today, promises to be nice, but the nights do start to get really cold, and that'll only get worse as the winter approaches. So this morning, I would say it was around the freezing point, give or take a degree. So really quite chilly, fingers frozen silly, but hey, it's part of fall hiking here in Ontario. And I'm not sure if I prefer the warmer weather and the bugs or the colder weather and no bugs. I don't know. But you know what? Take a look-see. The trail is looking beautiful this morning. And as we'd mentioned yesterday, sometimes it's actually difficult to see the actual trail just because of all the fallen leaves. But again, here in the Blue Mountain section, the volunteers do keep the blazes marked well, the trails marked well, and it does make a hiker's life much easier. So again, thank you to the volunteers. Okay, we've got about 20 kilometers to go to get back to where we parked yesterday at the beginning of this 2-day, one night kind of overnight wild camp hike. So yeah, let's get going. Feeling good. What a beautiful, pretty scene. Being inside the forest, we don't get a clear view of the sunrise today. However, we do get the sun peeking through the trees. Just absolutely gorgeous. Wow. So already the backpack is off. There is nothing like an early morning climb on the trail to get things warmed up. So we're going to drop a couple of layers already, even though we've only been on the trail 30 minutes, but it was a 30-minute steep climb. So I'm going to get rid of the black tights, and I'm going to get rid of probably one layer on top, and carry on. Wow. What a stunningly beautiful, peaceful morning. Right here on the Bruce Trail, Blue Mountain section, Pretty River Valley. Absolutely beautiful. Man, there is nowhere else I would rather be right now. Today promises to be a great hike. Sunshine, milder temperatures as the day progresses. As I've said, the nights get really cold, but as the day progresses, the temperatures will warm up to, I don't know, 15, 20 degrees Celsius. Be lovely. A beautiful, beautiful hike today. So right now, well, I hope I don't fall in, but right now we're filtering about a liter of water. This is a nice little water source. Unfortunately, it is before a solid heavy climb up to the Osler Bluff, but it's the only water source kind of this side of the climb. And I do want to get some water because I'm out, so just a liter will be fine. So that's what we're doing right here. I think I've mentioned before on other videos, but right now I'm using the Sawyer Mini, Squeeze, which is great, by the way. I think next time I will just go to the Sawyer Squeeze rather than the Mini. But this, over my last through hike of 1,000 kilometers, this Sawyer Mini Squeeze, as long as I keep it clean, did fine. You've got to keep flushing it out regular, once every 2 or 3 days, but it was fine. Did a great job, still working fine right now. The only problem I am having this morning is keeping my balance on this rock. Apart from that, everything's fine. One thing the Sawyer Squeeze bag is kind of notorious for is splitting around the collar, around the top. We'll take a look. Just now, if you can see that, the cap's on, but it has split. So this particular bag did split right around the top seam, primarily where all the pressure is when you're filtering. Now luckily I was aware of this problem with these bags, that sometimes they will split like that, so I do carry a spare, and I also put spares in resupply boxes and so on. So I went to my spare, carried on, filtered my water, not a problem. But I am going to contact Sawyer, and I am going to see if they'll replace this particular bag, because this one did fail. So that's something to keep in mind. If you do choose a Sawyer Squeeze type product, make sure you carry at least one spare filtration bag, or some other system, other bag, which is fine. And there's lots out there, and in fact I might change to a different bag because it would be easier to collect the water too, and more solid or more stable for actually filtering, and last longer. But it's just a point, be aware of the Sawyer Squeeze bags. They can let you down. If you use a Sawyer Squeeze bag, carry a spare. There you go. So as we continue along the trail, now we're only maybe 2 kilometers back to my van where I parked yesterday at the beginning of this hike. So thank you for watching my video. Please give me a like, do share, leave a comment. I will get back to comments and questions, ask questions, and do subscribe. Keep an eye out for my upcoming videos on, or the rest of my upcoming videos on my through hike of the Bruce Trail. I've uploaded, as I said, part 1, part 2 will come shortly, and so on. Maybe 5 or 6 total, we'll see. So keep an eye out for those. Hey, again, Gary here, trail name Jasper. You all have a good day. Thank you. Bye bye.